When you reach 70, you stop caring about small things. Bad knees, noisy neighbors, even the occasional family argument. But what I didn't expect was that the biggest betrayal of my life would come from the woman who called me Dad. It happened on my birthday, the night my daughter-in-law tried to destroy my reputation in front of everyone I loved. What she didn't know was that I had already seen it coming, and I was ready for her. The smell of freshly baked cake filled my house that morning, a sweet reminder that it was my 70th birthday. Balloons hung from the ceiling, and a banner my granddaughter Emma had made read, "Happy birthday, Grandpa James." But beneath that cheerful surface, I sensed something was off. My daughter-in-law, Clara, was being unusually helpful, fluttering around the living room, giving orders, and making sure everything went according to her plan. I've learned something in 70 years. When someone smiles too much, they're usually hiding a knife behind their back. "Grandpa, you okay?" Emma asked as she set a plate in front of me. "Of course, sweetheart," I replied with a wink. "Just thinking about how quiet the storm gets before it hits." She laughed, not understanding what I meant. But I did. I could feel that storm brewing in Clara's eyes every time she looked at me. You see, Clara never liked me. From the moment she married my son, Daniel, she saw me as a threat. An old man who still had too much influence over her husband. And lately, she had been whispering to Daniel that I was losing my memory, that I was forgetting things and confusing people. Her goal? To make me look senile so Daniel would send me to a care home. Then she'd have full control of the house and inheritance. But I didn't get this old by being naive. And that night, at my own birthday party, I decided it was time to turn the tables. 2 days before the party, I invited my old friend Richard, a retired lawyer, for lunch. We talked for hours, and by the end, he agreed to help me. "James," he said, smiling, "you're sure you want to catch her red-handed?" "I don't want revenge," I replied. "Just the truth, in front of everyone." He nodded. "Then we'll record the whole thing. Let's see how she performs when the spotlight turns back on her." And so, that evening, Richard arrived quietly and mingled with the guests. Hidden in his jacket button was a tiny lapel camera, recording every sound, every whisper, every lie. By 7, the house was full. Music, laughter, and clinking glasses filled the air. Clara floated around like a queen, greeting everyone with that fake smile of hers. At one point, I overheard her whisper to a neighbor, "It's so sad. He barely remembers people anymore. Just last week, he called Daniel by the wrong name. Poor thing." My hands tightened around my cane. I said nothing. Let her dig her own grave. After dinner, Daniel raised his glass. "To my father, the strongest man I know." Before he could continue, Clara stepped forward. "Oh, honey, let me say something too." The room quieted. She smiled sweetly at me. "Dad, we're so proud of you. Even though you've had some trouble lately remembering things, we're all here to remind you that you're loved." Guests shifted in discomfort. My son looked confused. Then she laughed lightly. "Actually, I thought we could play a little game. Let's see if Dad remembers where things belong." She held up a tray of items from around the house. My keys, glasses, photo frames, as if I were a child. The humiliation was complete. Or so she thought. I smiled slowly. "Sure, Clara," I said calmly. "Let's play." She handed me a keychain. "Do you remember what this opens?" "That would be the back door key," I answered. Her smile faltered. Then she held up a photo of her and Daniel. "And who's this?" I leaned back. "Ah, yes, the woman who married my son and has been trying to steal my house." The room went dead silent. Her smile vanished. "Excuse me." "Oh, don't act surprised, Clara," I said evenly. "You've been planning this for months, telling people I'm losing my mind, trying to convince Daniel to send me away." "That's ridiculous," she snapped. "Really?" I said. "Then maybe you'd like to hear what you told Mrs. Porter an hour ago, about how I barely remember people anymore." Her eyes widened. "You heard that?" "I didn't," I said, "but my lawyer did." I nodded toward Richard. He pressed a button on his phone. Clara's own voice filled the room. "He barely remembers people anymore. Poor thing. Maybe it's time he moved to a care home. Daniel and I could manage the house better." Gasps erupted. Daniel's face turned red with shock. "Clara, is that true?" she stammered. "I was just worried about him." "No," I said firmly. "You were worried about my will." I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out an envelope. "You see, Clara, I already changed my will last week. I wanted to make sure the right people are taken care of." I looked at Emma and smiled. "Everything I own, the house, savings, and my business, will go to my granddaughter when she turns 21. Clara's face twisted in disbelief. "You can't do that." "I already did," I said calmly. "And the man in the corner can confirm it." Richard stepped forward. "It's legally signed and filed." Clara's perfect image crumbled. She turned toward the guests, pleading, "You're all misunderstanding." But nobody listened. She ran from the room, her heels clicking furiously against the floor as whispers followed her. Later that night, Daniel came to me, eyes full of regret. "Dad, I'm sorry. I should have believed you. She told me you were confused, that you imagined things." I smiled softly. "It's all right, son. Sometimes we have to lose our sight before we see the truth." Emma hugged me tightly. "Grandpa, you were awesome," I chuckled. "Just an old man with a few tricks left." As the guests left and the lights dimmed, I looked out the window at the calm night sky. For the first time in years, the house felt peaceful again. Life has a way of testing us, sometimes through strangers, sometimes through family. But that night, I learned something powerful. Even when people try to write you off, the truth always finds its way to the surface. And as I blew out my birthday candle, I made a wish, not for wealth or health, but for peace. Because in the end, exposing lies is easy, but earning back peace is the real victory.